BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guests here, the Board Boys from the Board Boys podcast. We got Rob and Cam and TKN, and they have played a game. In fact, I think they played it tonight, a game I am really jealous about. It's Darwin's Journey. Who wants to talk about it? I want to hear all about it.
So Darwin's Journey is from Thundergriff Games. Simone Luciani and Nestor Mangione are the designers, and the artist is Paolo Voto. And if you ever listen to our podcast, we love what we call the Italian design house mafia, which is anybody in the Luciani, Mangione, Tassini. Who else we got, Campbell?
So Luciani's kind of the guy who works with everybody. He's kind of the Kevin Bacon or whatever.
Luciani's the best of them.
I agree.
I have an argument for that.
To me, I'm with you. I think he's the juice. I think he's the juice in every game. But Luciani works with Tassini a lot. Luciani also works with Nestor Mangione. He did Barrage with what's his name, Tommaso Battista.
Right.
That kind of looks like Campbell.
Yeah, who does kind of look like me, like kind of look at the Barrage picture. But he also works a lot with Virginio Gili and Flamina Brasini. I think Flamina Brasini. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Who those two, make all their games together. And
but oddly enough, they did this game.
But the glue, if you go through all the games that I really like from those Italian designers, Simone Luciani seems to be in on all of those games.
Yeah,
it's
he's
like
the guy.
One common thread.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I pulled the trigger on this one. This was a Kickstarter that happened during COVID and took a very long time to come out. Lots of production issues, whatever. But it finally came out a couple weeks ago to my house, and we played it. I played it twice now. Once with Tim, 2-player, and once tonight, 4-player. And they were very different experiences. It was one of those games where we started playing it, and we saw, you could score over 200 points. And at the end of the third out of 5 rounds, we're like, how the hell do you do that? And Tim did it tonight. So,
wow.
As like any of their games, it's like you just got to crack the nut a little bit, and then it just opens up for you.
What are we looking at here? Is it worker placement? What kind of game is it?
So, yeah, the main mechanism is worker placement, and you have 4 different workers. And every worker, if you saw back on that other picture, there was some seals. You can kind of see them there. So this is the Kickstarter edition with the cool little, they're rubber, like they're little rubber seals, like they're the stamps for the letters. And you put those on a board next to the workers. And so you see right there that yellow meeple. To place him there, he needs to have 1 red seal to place him there. And then down below, you'll see some spots that cost $4 and $5. You get these little spyglass tokens that you can cover those up and create worker placement spots for people to go on. And if people go on your spot, you make money. And they're better spots, but they require like a worker to have 2 red seals or 3 red seals. And there's 4 different colors of seals. And then there's a purple one that's wild. And then like when your worker gets more seals, like they can have up to 6 of them. They just get completely juiced up and get to do some extra stuff. They just make the actions better. There you see like there's stamps that you put on there, and that's kind of an area control thing at the end of the round. You can score some benefits. Ultimately in the game, you're just trying to I don't know if you have a picture of the map where you're walking around, but you kind of sail your ship around. Yeah, there you go. You sail your ship around, trying to keep up. You try to keep up with the HMS Beagle, which was Darwin's ship when he was doing his stuff. And you try to keep up with him because if you're behind him, you score less in end round of objectives. And then you kind of walk your explorer around, learning about the different species and animals. And then when you learn about them, you can then journal about them and write about them. And then at the end of the game, there's a huge multiplier by how much stuff people have learned altogether times how far you've moved this little book token. You can kind of see that in the middle of the board there, where there's like that 4x4 grid. You see the 4x4 grid of animals off to the right.
Yes.
You basically, as you discover them, they're also the circle tokens on the walking track down there. And as an action, when you stop on one of those circles, you can cover up the spot on your board, and then you can go onto the main board as an action, and then move that token that's over on the right side of the board onto its spot on the board and make some money and make some.
Are these like 3 islands that you're exploring as you go down this track?
Yeah. So if you see the banners that kind of cross the river there, or cross the water spots. When your boat crosses it, you get to pop an explorer out onto the next set of the islands.
Oh, okay.
So there's 3 different islands you can kind of walk around. And then on the back side of this board, it's all completely different. And there's an expansion built in called the Firelands, where you just go around like Tierra del Fuego. And the map part looks way crazier. And I know nothing about it at this point. But I'm super excited to dip into it. It's one of those games that have half the rule book is the rules, because the book is huge. And the rest of it is solo rules and probably a half a dozen modules, like small modules, and a fairly large expansion. When you hand out player pieces in the base game, you don't even hand out all the stuff. Like there's extra ships you don't use and extra explorers you don't use. And there's like a pirate ship that you can attack pirates. It's all crazy, man.
Dude, checking in, playing Mario Kart in honor of his boy Cam.
Yeah, nice. Dave, let's Mario Kart online soon, buddy. I've been time trialing. I'm ready to take you on.
We've learned that doesn't play board games. He plays Mario Kart and Marvel Snap, and that's it.
Yeah, he's my Marvel Snap buddy in the Discord.
Steve, is this game too beige or not enough beige?
No. There's no such thing as too beige.
Okay, good. Because that was a trick question.
Have you gotten the right saturation of
beige? Is it more colorful or less colorful than Toledo?
I haven't played Toledo, but Verla would have to talk on that one. But that one looks to me like a slightly more pumped up version of what might be the Navigador board in terms of its colors. It's a little bit sharper, but still has that beige that's the rage.
I am attracted to this art. The graphic design of all the artwork and everything. It looks really cool to me. Verla?
The biggest thing to overcome is the iconography. There's a lot of it.
Is it pretty intuitive?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, there's basically 4 main actions, and then after that, it's just juicing those up bigger and bigger and bigger and getting your workers jacked out,
How's the playtime been, TK?
2 players, it was very fast. 4 players, it was about a little over 2 hours, probably something like that. So
I think the box says 30 minutes per player, and I'd say if you know the game, that's probably accurate.
It seems like all of their games say that 30 minutes per player. But
I think they're all generally right.
Yeah, I bet if I pulled out
Teletum is not that long though. I don't think it's 30. I don't think they say 30 minutes per player on that one.
It's
depends on who you're playing with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a 60 to 100
3-hour game with 3 people last night.
Of Toledo?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How did it go? Was it an enjoyable 3 hours?
Yeah. It's
An enjoyable 2 hours and then a third hour, Brad.
It's experiences like that where I don't feel guilty for looking at my phone in between turns, because I know somebody's going to take, like 7 minutes to figure out their turn. And that's just who they are, and they're a family member, and I love them. So I'm just happy they're playing with me.
Hey, that's a good way to be. I just trick my friends into taking faster turns by goading them. Like tonight.
Rob tricked me tonight. We were trucking. I was the fastest Cam in the West tonight because he's like, Cam can't play this game fast. He's going to think about every single turn for a long time. So I was zipping. So we were playing faster, I think, at a faster pace than normal.
If you ever want to try to beat Cam at a game, just goad him into playing really fast.
I lost by so many points, and it was probably my worst showing in a board game this year. So,
what's your favorite thing about the game, Cam?
Okay, so I think that there's a lot of things that kind of remind me of stuff that Luciani does, specifically in let's say Lorenzo Il Magnifico and Newton. It's got a lot of flavors from that. There's this huge combo wombo vibe going on in the game where a lot of the stuff you could do leads right into another really something that feels really powerful and meaningful. And despite that, the turns don't go on endlessly. nothing takes too long, but you can take an action and you can upgrade one of your guys, and that feels great. But because you have a guy upgraded, you can close a objective that you might have. Then you get to slot that into the board, which will maybe give you another powerful thing you get to do. And there's a lot of that in Newton. There's a lot of that in Lorenzo, Grand Austria Hotel. So
This
if you
one
like those
feels
games,
this one feels a lot like Newton. I mean,
Yeah.
Mangione did Newton too, so
exactly.
that's it has the wombo combo, as
Yeah.
we like to say.
I would say
Well-
it's the most like Newton out of any of the other games that Luciano's
And I'm
have
seeing
played.
the little movement on the tracks, the little that kind of reminds me of Newton a little bit also. Although I was wondering if it was the King's track type thing on Toledo where they have some negative aspects, but I don't see that.
Yeah, no negative here. And then there's a player. You're seeing a player board there, and then those cards you draft at the beginning of the game, and they give you your starting seals, and those are also objectives you try to complete. So you want to have a guy with so many of each colored seal, and then you can flip them over and do the thing.
Well, we had a lot of requests before the show about what's going on with Darwin's Journey. Thumbs up for everybody. What do you think? Or need some more plays?
2 thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Says thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
It'll be an episode soon.
Wow, it's in the top 100 already.
You know we're beyond that now. We've ascended
Steve,
Luciano,
or
What?
transcended the top 100, I guess.
Steve Verla, is this something y'all want to check out?
I would be interested in this. Yeah, I love the theme, and I hope that it. I mean, I don't need a theme. We were talking about this offline. I don't need a theme to make me feel like I'm actually Darwin traveling through the Galapagos. But if the theme does echo the mechanics in some way and makes it feel more fulfilling, that's cool by me.
Nice. I've just been seeing it pop up because everybody's getting their Kickstarter, and I didn't even notice it when it was on Kickstarter. And I've been seeing the pictures and thinking it looks very beige, and I haven't even looked into it. But now you guys are telling me Luciani's one of the designers, and Grand Austria Hotel is like my tied for #1 game. So I've got to try this.
Chef's kiss there.
Yep. That's a good one.
Got to try
Oh.
this one now. And it looks a little more colorful than Teletome.
You guys have sold me. I definitely want to try it. Darwin's Journey. That's
Add
awesome.
to the list.